You alright lads, this is the GeordieJedi here. Today, Swansea at the Liberty Stadium, Newcastle United, and a draw, 2-2. Personally, I think it was somewhat fair. And I'm really hoping that Pardew's learned a lesson with this game. Because to be honest, it seems like he's probably going to be around for at least a few more games, especially seeing as the draw is probably enough for him to keep his job. Against a tough Swansea side, to be honest, people might have thought that Swansea weren't that good a team that we should win. To be honest, they're not. Well, they are a good team, is what I mean to say. They're not a good team, you know what I mean. They are a good team. I mean, Sigurdsson, Shelvey, these players are outstanding. Nathan Dyer, Routledge, Bonny, all these players are playing brilliantly. Their defence is a bit shoddy, but apart from that, really, they move the ball around better than I've really seen Man United, or not Man United, it's so funny, than Arsenal, than Chelsea. They move it around better than them. They don't do the other stuff so well, but they move it around better than I've ever seen Chelsea and Arsenal do it. So, we'll promise before the match that Pardew would make some changes. In fairness to him, he kept his word. The problem was that he made the wrong changes again. We've basically been playing the same formation, the same players, 4-2-3-1, pretty much since Man City. This time, what he did is he went more of a 4-3-3 with Cisse in the middle by himself, again. Obertan on the right, who in fairness today was actually pretty good. To be honest, compared to the rest. Compared to who would probably be in his place otherwise. To be honest, actually he did pretty well. Gouffran on the left, still don't know why he's in the team necessarily. He's a good worker, and he can show quality, but right now he's not showing the quality, so why play him? Personally, I don't know. Even defensively, which was one of the little things that Pardew has a problem with, is that his wingers don't defend. Even defensively, he doesn't do a huge amount. Dummett was pretty much left on his own as the fullback. Luckily enough, he had Colback and Tiote just ahead of him, because they sort of did almost play a 4-2-3-1, but what they did really was Obertan and Gouffran will move further forward. Tiote and Colback providing the backup for the defenders. Defensive line stayed the same as always. Krul had a pretty good game. Anyways, about the 17th minute, I believe, Colaccini, it's difficult to get rid of him because he's the captain. It's very difficult to take off the captain, because even if they're playing crap, if by rights you should still need them. Although, to be honest, the captain doesn't seem to be doing much captaining anyway, so you might as well. But Colaccini gets caught ball watching, Bonny through, shoots, goal. Simple as that, really. It was just defensive mistake. It was ended at 2-2. Both goals were caused by defensive mistakes on our part. Both their goals. They did play brilliantly, Swansea. When they did it, the build-up play was beautiful. Some of the passes were amazing. But, defensively, could point out the problem. You could point out where we went wrong. And you could do it all day. Watch Match of the Day and you'll understand what I mean. They'll do it. They'll point out Colaccini should have been watching his man, not the ball. All that kind of stuff. And, I could do it, and I don't do it. I don't commentate professionally. Yet. Kidding. I don't think I ever will. It'll be boring. Then, Obertan on the right, who probably was, apart from Cisse, I'd say he might be man of the match myself. He seemed the most dangerous to us. When we were playing poorly, because we were up until about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, give or take, towards left in the match, about 60th minute onwards, we looked very dodgy, we looked very poor, especially going forward. They did as well. Swansea weren't at their 100% best. They love to play all these little precise balls passing to each other, and the number of times you kind of thought to yourself, well, who the hell was that to? We did it more than them, but they did it as well, which is uncommon for Swansea. Anyways, Obertan on the right puts in a nice ball. Well, not so much a nice ball, it was right to the near post. Cisse was there, and he must just took a quick shot, and Fabianski must have just missed it. because it went just to the side, just to probably the left side of him. Hold on. Yeah, left side of him. Sorry, I'm just angling myself. Left side of him, and he put his arms up like that. He went down. If he'd stood standing, I think he would have saved it, but he didn't. He sort of kneeled, missed it. But you know, any kind of luck, and we'll fucking take it. You know, we're in no position to be arguing about the fact that, you know, there were mistakes made by the Swansea defence. It doesn't matter. We need every goal we can get. Luckily enough, Cisse got with the first one. Went in half time 1-1. Second half, no changes from Pardew's side. Personally, that's when I would have made the changes he ends up making. Or I certainly would have made the changes he ends up making a little bit sooner. But, anyways, goes on about the 51st minute, I'd say again. And basically happens again. You point out these little flaws that you can see what's going to happen, because you can see that Colaccini's wandered off and they put the ball in the back of the net. Routledge, nice chip in fairness to him, but there was also talk of maybe a foul on Sissoko, as in Sigurdsson pushed him off the ball just enough to push him past the ball. Personally, I probably would have given it as a foul, mainly because even though when the commentator's defence was that even though he was kind of pushed off, because he's a strong lad, by rights he shouldn't be able to get pushed off the ball. But that doesn't change anything. That doesn't mean he didn't get pushed off the ball. It just means he shouldn't have. But anyways, give Sigurdsson, puts up a bit of a fight. Personally, I would say actually does give him a little bit of a shove, but the commentator is also right that Sissoko should not have been pushed off the ball that easily. Basically, he was pushed past the ball. Sigurdsson put in a nice ball to Routledge. Routledge chip as soon as Krul went down. So slid in, put in a nice chip, went in. Seems to be a common thing with us for some unknown reason. It's always soon after. It's kind of like either the starting whistle goes, because 17 minutes really isn't that long into the game. It kind of sometimes feels like it, and especially in this game. It sometimes feels like it, and then again in the 51st minute of the second half, they do the same again. The score, we sort of back off. We'll become unfocused right at the beginning of the halves, and it just keeps happening, and it's very incredibly annoying, because it's a recurring theme with us. But game goes on a bit. Then what happens? Riviere comes on, Gouffran. There is Sammy Amiobi comes on first, left midfielder for Gouffran. Sammy Amiobi had a good game as well. The only reason I'm not considering him for man of the match is because he came on about the 60th minute. I don't think a player should get man of the match for half an hour, and although to be honest, now I'm thinking about it, I probably could do. Riviere comes on. Now this is the point when I'm hoping Pardew learns his lesson. Because as soon as this happened, that we looked dangerous, and this was when we were basically playing 4-4-2. We had two up front, Riviere and Cisse. I mean, Cisse was getting a bit tired. You could see it. You could see it by the look on his face. You could see it by his movement. Riviere was always right up front, and Cisse was slowly jogging back behind him. Not his fault, you know. He's still not match fit. Perez comes on towards the end again, and still stays 4-4-2. He just comes on for Cisse. This is why I'm hoping he learns his lesson. When we played 4-4-2, we were dangerous. We were better than Swansea. And to be honest, part of it was because we got the second goal. Anyways, bit of bother. Cisse puts it away again. Can't argue with Cisse. Personally, I thought he could have been offside, but he looked really close. But he puts it away. This basically shell-shocked Swansea. They had no idea what to do after this. They just looked confused, they looked ditzy. They started doing long balls over the top, which is the one thing they're not good at. And this, we looked on top. We really did. Part of me thought we were going to get the third goal. Then, Emnes. It was Emnes, by the way. For some reason I thought it was Gomi, so it was actually Emnes. John Joe Shelby, I believe, puts over a lovely ball over the top, right to Emnes. Emnes on south. Check Tiote, who'd already went down for a bit of cramp. He just ran and blocked him. he was basically one-on-one with the keeper. He took his time a bit, and Tiote just came in and ended it there and then. No foul given. It wasn't a foul. It was a perfectly good tackle. He just stopped it, and that's amazing to see, especially considering all the speculation over, you know, will he stay or will he go, all that kind of stuff. He put in 100%. So whether he leaves or not. Now, this probably means Pardew will keep his job personally. The only really problem I have with Pardew right now is the fact that he won't change his formations, and he has. For next game, which is home against Leicester City, and Leicester City are doing incredibly well, but to be honest, they're still a promoted side, but should still hopefully do well. But you know, given if he puts us out 4-4-2, I'll be more than happy for him to. I'll be more than happy to put up with him. To stay, no, I'd still rather have a different manager. But well, quite frankly, I'm really conflicted about whether or not. I still want a different manager, but if he can actually start learning his lessons, I'll put up with him. Anyways, overall it's been a pretty good day. Actually, really, Swansea a good team. Been happy with the draw going in. Personally, I wanted the win, and I had a funny feeling about today. I had a weird feeling. So did quite a few other people. Had weird feelings about the day. So I thought something was going to be interesting, and it certainly was. Anyways, finish up here. Bring you the next game against Leicester City, hopefully. This being the GeordieJedi. Leave a like if you can, it really helps. Subscribe if you want. There's a link in the description below for you. And may the force be with you.